financial penalties that are underway for folks who are out there under the Emergencies Act, is this a step too far? Is it too harsh?
This is something that is important for Canadians to know, that there will be consequences for people who are breaking the law and people who are supporting those who are breaking the law. The Emergencies Act is something that is proportional and responsible to move forward with, to indicate that these blockades should be done and people should go home.
In terms of the financial instruments which our government is using right now to act against these illegal blockades and illegal occupation, we reviewed very, very carefully the tools at the disposal of the federal government. And we used all the tools that we had prior to the invocation of the Emergencies Act, and we determined that we needed some additional tools. Now, some of those tools, we will be putting forward measures to put those tools permanently in place. The authorities of FinTrack, I believe, do need to be expanded to cover crowdsourcing platforms and payment platform and their payment providers. So that is something that we need to do, and we will do, and that needs to be in place permanently.
Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, and for my grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's going to come. Shalom to the Akwah that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and blessings to you all. Barakatha. All right. Let me start this off with Proverbs. I'm going to hit Proverbs chapter 28, verse 15. And it reads, as a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. As a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. Right? Let's continue. Verse 16. The prince that wanteth understanding is also a great oppressor, but he that hateth covetousness shall prolong his days. Right? So, we getting into this, man. A whole lot of developments going down in Canada right now on Esau's basically the backyard of Esau's head main headquarters, which would be America, right? This is in America's backyard. This is in Canada. Okay, and we're seeing the uproars of the people. You see, this is no longer all the way over the pond somewhere, you know what I'm saying, like they like to say, all the way across the pond. This isn't overseas, man. This is right here. This is right here. Right next to America. Babylon the Great. We're seeing things happening, man. We're seeing this Edomite Justin Trudeau, we're seeing him behaving in the way Esau knows how, man. As the oppressor that he is. And they're making massive moves right now. They're making moves to oppress the poor and to ultimately ride onto you jakes, man. Because that's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to eradicate the Israelites. That's always been the goal of these devils. That's always been the goal. You see? And I got a couple of things to show y'all, man. Like you saw in the earlier videos, Esau's making his move. Esau's making his move. He's starting off with causing martial law and You know, it's over this whole trucker protest and whatnot. That's a front. That's a front. You know what I'm saying? At this point, it's just a front. Right? This thing was orchestrated. This thing was orchestrated in such a way because these guys did not waste any time to enact this martial law. Right? So let's get into this article right here. It says, when fascism comes to America, it will look like Justin Trudeau's Canada. No, it won't. No, it won't. It won't look like that. It won't look like that. It'll look worse. It will look worse. Far worse. Right? Far worse. The Purge movies that you see is gonna be like that times 20. Right? It's gonna be like that times 20. You're gonna see that. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. Just like that director who was going to make the movie Gray State. I believe that's what it was called, Gray State. It was going to be a movie called Gray State, and the director and his family was killed. Right? Because far too much truth, and you can see all of the truth come out in just that trailer of Gray State. You was able to see the truth come out in that trailer. They had to kill him. They had to take him out. Him and his wife and his child. Listen, man. No witnesses. No witnesses, because at that time it was too early for the public to know all this. It was too early. Right? But we about to see all of that stuff. We're seeing it manifest right before our eyes, man. You know what I'm saying? And Canada is one of the spots that's truly enacting this. Right? You take a look at Australia. You see what I'm saying? These places that's occupied by Edom. You see? This is where it's going down, man. This is where it's going down. So when it hits this place, America, is going to be 100-fold. 100-fold. Let's get Isaiah chapter 13. There's no escaping this. There's no escaping this reality. Everybody likes to think that a better day is coming. No, man. No. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 14. It says, and it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Right? Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Because what we seeing right now, man? You know what I'm saying? What we seeing? We're seeing police officers in Canada trampling over people using horses. You see? That's what we're seeing going down in Canada. But it ain't going to look like Canada when this goes down in America. Understand? They spending trillions on defense, weapons, and all this stuff. Oh, it's going to go down here in the States, man. It's going to go down. It's going to go down. We ain't going to be dealing with no police officers with some horses. That's going to be the least of your problems. That's going to be the least of your problems. You know what I'm saying? You look at Monsters of Men. Look at the movie Monsters of Men. And you'll see these devils are planning some real shit, some real heavy stuff. Right? They're going to send out their robots. You're already seeing them. You're seeing them in the form of robot dogs. Right? They can't just up and show you robots, patrolling streets. They can't show you that. So what do? They show you robots that's just interacting with people and answering questions and making little funny jokes or whatever. You know, I believe the elder Yashawamba, he shared that they're having a robot drag. come on. It's too much, man. It's too much. It's too much. But when it all goes down, bro, you're gonna see what the scriptures is really saying. It says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. This is going to be a day like none other. This is going to be a day that can't be compared to any other time in history. Right? And all these jakes out here that call themselves leaders, you know, that want to tiptoe around this subject, they're going to see it for themselves. They're going to see it for themselves, man. Let's go to let me hit Luke chapter 21, verse 22, right here. Luke chapter 21, verse 22, it says, for these are the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. Right? The days of vengeance. You see, Esau is coming for that blessing, man. He's coming for that blood. He's coming for blood, man, because he's tired of this, man. He's tired of being exposed. You know what I'm saying? He's tired of the shame that he's forced to feel now. He's tired of feeling the inevitable. And what's the inevitable? That those that were oppressed are going to be the ones that have them under oppression. You see, this is what they're afraid of. They're afraid of Revelation chapter 13, verse 9 and 10 coming into play. They're afraid of that. Right? So when it all hits here in Babylon the Great, aka America, is going to be bloody. It's going to be bloody. You see what I'm saying? They're not just going to hit your bank accounts. It ain't going to be like that. Right? For these are the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. And all these people that don't want to, you know, these jakes out here that don't want to acknowledge the New Testament, you know, just like the elder Apostle Gabar mentioned, you know, it ain't gonna do you no good. It ain't gonna do you no good, because the New Testament, the Old Testament complements the New Testament. Right? They both go hand in hand. You can't understand the New Testament without understanding the Old Testament. And the Old Testament tells you clearly that it's going to be nothing but death, blood, destruction in the last days. You see what I'm saying? The last days was not chattel slavery. That was not the last days. You see what I'm saying? That was not the end of these times. Now we're in the end of these times, because we're able to see all these things formulate. We're seeing the prophecies playing out. We're seeing the earthquakes all over the place. We're seeing the plagues, the famines. Oh, we about to see the famine real soon. We about to see the famine real soon, man. But all these things were written, and it's about to come to pass, man. So let's go to Matthew chapter 24. Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. It says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. You see? And it says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. You have to sit there and really meditate on this scripture right here. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, man. You see, you got all these days. These days are going by quickly. You see, a week doesn't even feel like a week anymore. It just goes by so fast. So what is going to happen is going to be on the scale so vast, so incredible. You know what I'm saying? The days are gonna have to be shortened in order for us to make it through, man. In order for the elect to make it through. Why? Because it says, for the elect's sake, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Right? This is going to be a time unlike any other, man. Right? The woman that you heard in the previous video, that was the deputy prime minister. You know, the deputy prime minister, she said straight up, this is going to be permanent. This here is going to be permanent. Everything that you're seeing is going to be permanent. There will be no dissenters. There will be no protesters. There will be none of that. You see what I'm saying? Like I remember this one stand-up comedy from Eddie Griffin. And he said what? He said, think it ain't illegal yet, but they working on it. And he said that years ago. Here we are now, man. Just as the apostles and the elders was speaking of. You know what I'm saying? Here we are. Told you, man, the famine in the word is coming. You know, this isn't going to be something readily accessible anymore. You're not going to be able to see it. You know, right now we already getting word that there's going to be cyber attacks and whatnot, man. They about to shut it all down. What's going to happen when you can't hear the prophets no more, man? The only thing you're going to be left with is the faith that you stored up. Right? Let me get on with this article, man. If Justin Trudeau had merely removed trucks from blocking a bridge in protest of the Happy Juice mandates, it would be no big deal. Protesters for various causes routinely get removed from blocking traffic. But that's not all Justin Trudeau did. He suspended civil liberties in Canada, targeting peaceful protesters and anyone who supports them. Not because those supporters committed a crime, but because they supported the political opposition to Trudeau's government. Trudeau ordered all financial institutions to freeze the assets of his political opposition without court order and with full immunity from liability, and no financial assets were spared. Right? The names of both individuals and entities as well as crypto wallets have been shared by the RCMP with financial institutions, and accounts have been frozen, and more accounts will be frozen. You know what I'm saying? For all these people who really thought that crypto was going to be their way to be free from the government's grasp, come on, man. You know, these are the people that are highly gullible. Highly gullible. Trudeau has weaponized and commanded the private sector to do the government's bidding in crushing political dissent. The Toronto Sun reported one of the most far-reaching implications of the Emergencies Act is what it prescribes for the Canadian financial system. According to the government's new emergency economic measures order, every single bank, credit union, investment broker, and insurance provider in the country has been deputized to figure out if they have a blockader as a client, and to immediately freeze their accounts if so. Whew. Look, man. Whoa. That's intense. That's intense. You know, and these devils, man, look. Like I said, the goal is to get you Jakes out here. The goal is to get the Israelites. That's what the goal has always been. Let's go to Daniel chapter 8. Daniel chapter 8, verse 23. Daniel chapter 8, verse 23, it says, and in the latter time of their kingdom, and when the latter time of Esau's kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his powers shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hands, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. You see, what's their double tongue speak? Their double tongue that double tongue speech is that we're doing this for the sake of Canadians. You know, we're doing this for the sake of everyone's safety, for everyone's health, and this and that, and so on and so forth, right? You know, that's what they say. That's what they say. Through his policy also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hands. And this is a crafty devil. You know what I'm saying? He's been crafty since the garden. We're looking at it now. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. To magnify yourself in your own heart, what's that going into? One's pride. One's pride. You see? And by peace shall destroy many. You see, that's how you get a person off guard. Right? You come in peace. You pretend that you come in peace, man. What's the scripture say? His words were smoother than butter. This is Psalms. It's like Psalms chapter 55, verse 20. It says, he hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, man. And his words are always softer than butter, man. They're always smoother than butter. He's always ready to get somebody enticed with his words, with his sayings, with his proposals, right? With his policies. He's very enticing. But war is always in his heart. It's always in the back of his mind. You see, because he always has an ulterior motive. Every day of the week. Right? The scriptures say, what? If he do good, he does it unwillingly. This is Esau, Edom that we talking about. This is the same devil that people like Elder Ricard from GOCC are trying to save. You see what I'm saying? So let me share with y'all another video real quick.
Prime Minister, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, friends. As you know, the theme of this annual meeting is Mastering the Fourth Industrial Revolution. I couldn't imagine anybody who could represent more the world which will come out of this fourth industrial revolution. It certainly will be a world, hopefully, not certainly, hopefully, if we take the right decisions, which will be a diverse world characterized by plurality. It will be a world which will combine significant investments into the future, into our soft and hard infrastructure, with fostering entrepreneurial activity, at the same time social responsibility. It will be a young world. It will be a digital world. Now, who could represent such a world better than you, Prime Minister? We are very glad that at the beginning of this meeting, you are talking to us to represent also a new, open Canada. I want to use this opportunity also to thank our Canadian constituency, which always has been a very loyal and very much engaged constituency here at the Forum. But now, I think with you, together with our constituents, Prime Minister, we can make sure that in the future we strengthen the cooperation even more with your country. Prime Minister, we are very much looking forward to listen to you, and actually the discussion will be moderated by my friend Farid. So we will have some exciting, interesting moments. Thank you.
Right? So you heard that there, man. You heard that there. This is the this that character you looking at. You know, these devils, man. And listen. He may seem as one of those that's really hated, you know, in the world right now. But listen, he's a public figure. He's a public figure, Salaki. He's a public figure. And if he's a public figure, then that means he ain't running shit. He ain't running shit. If this dude, Klaus Schwab, is saying that he has been loyal to the cause, then that means he's not in control of nothing. He's only a pawn. Right? He is only a pawn. The one that's running everything, they're the ones that you don't see. Right? Let me get Isaiah chapter 29. Verse 15, Isaiah 29:15, it says, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, Who seeth us, and who knoweth us?" See, these people are the ones that you don't see, man. Right? So, you know, these are the times that we coming into, man. Right? The wickedness has reached an all-time high. And, you know, the devil's actually putting all his plans into play. Let's read Revelation chapter 12. Okay, Revelation 12, verse 12, it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." This devil knows his time's almost up, man. His time is almost up. He can't go much further. So he's got to do something about that, right? Salaki. This is Job chapter 14, verse 5. "Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass." This joker is almost out of time. He's running out of time, and he knows that. That's why he's kicking everything into high gear real quickly. Real quickly, man. You know, and these are those things to contemplate on, Slocky. These are the things to focus on and to really meditate on. You know what I'm saying? As we're entering into this holy time of the Passover, you know, and things is just about to start moving. They're about to start moving fast. You know, brace yourselves, man. In the spirit, brace yourselves in the spirit, because just listen, people are going to be caught off guard with this. You see what I'm saying? Dealing with cyber attacks, blackouts, famines. Ain't gonna be no food out here. You see what I'm saying? It's about to get real, man. Alright, so I'm going to cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to say, call Halayim La, Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Harakal. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that I've learned in this truth under. Shalom to the Yakim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Yakwah that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and blessings to you all. Barak Atah. Shalom.